This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our NFL Pick Show here for Sunday, October 5th. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have lots of free picks over our channel delivered by myself as well as our team of cappers here at Tony'sPicks.com. Make it a great channel to subscribe to. We go live every day, 9:30 a.m. each time. It is the Tony's Picks Morning Show. The cappers join me, giving out live free picks. So guys, tune in to the show, like and subscribe if you would. And we also encourage your chat. Live chat, interact with us in that live chat as well. We are looking for cappers. Apply on our homepage with an email to us. Then visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing top performers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers. Get signed up to long-term passes. Top performers up here like Sean Higgs, Rod Mills up there. Brian Biller's been red hot the last 30 days, last 7 days as well, hitting the leaderboards. Guys you know from our live shows as well as the YouTube videos. DeAndre Stevenson up there as well. Latest premium picks here set the page with best bets and more. We will be locked and loaded here for this card on Sunday. Remember, all of our one-day passes are profit guaranteed. That they must turn a profit amount purchased will be credited back to your account for site credits. That's profit guaranteed. And then our promo code Tony T at checkout will knock off that 15%. The link is in the description to get signed up. So let's go ahead. Let's get this one underway. All right, we got Vikings and Browns going off here from England on Sunday. Minnesota quarterback McCarthy, a fullback, left guard, center, and right tackle are out. On defense, a linebacker are out. Cleveland right tackle questionable, and a corner and on defense is questionable. Cleveland has a significant injury advantage based on the Dr. Chow ratings by 7.80. Minnesota's offense has a very low health rating of 68. That is very low there. Cleveland's health rating on offense at 81.5. We got a game played in England, as we said. Minnesota 2-2 after a 24-21 defeat to Pittsburgh and Dublin. Vikings were held to 3.5 yards a carry on the ground and were able to move the football downfield. They allowed 5.7 yards per rush to the Steelers with 182 yards passing for 8.3 yards per pass attempt. Carson Wentz, 20 of 26 passes for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Cleveland 1-3 after a 34-10 road defeat at Detroit. Browns were a little bit on the ground here. They struggled in the passing game. They allowed 3.8 yards a carry to the Lions with 168 yards passing for 6.2 yards per pass attempt. Dylan Gabriel will get the start for the ineffective Joe Flacco. Gabriel threw 4 passes in mop-up rolls this season in his rookie year. Rookie Dylan Gabriel, again, we said he'll start. He had some good moments in the preseason. Carson Wentz will start for Minnesota. The Vikings have struggled with quarterback play here. They're allowing 68% completion rate as well defensively. The Browns' passing game was bad behind Flacco. Cleveland defense is the best unit on this field. They're allowing 2.7 yards per rush, 5.9 yards per pass attempt. The Vikings 1-3 of the spread, facing teams that allow 90 yards rushing per game or fewer. The Browns have a win against Green Bay with a stout defensive effort. Pick here Cleveland plus 3.5. Texans and the Ravens going off on Sunday. Houston has a fullback out. They are missing receivers Dallin Watson, Baltimore quarterback Jackson, and fullback out. Their left tackle is questionable. On defense, a linebacker, corner, and nickelback are all out. A linebacker and safety are questionable. They have key players on defense on IR. Houston has a massive injury advantage based on the Dr. Chow rating by plus 20.9 rating points. My God, that's about as high as you'll see. Ravens defense has an extremely low health rating of 49.2. The Texans defense has the highest rating of all at 91. Houston improved to 1-3 after a 26-0 home victory against Tennessee. The Texans rushed for 129 yards for 3.7 yards a carry and are effective in the passing game. They limited the Titans to 4.5 yards a carry and 95 yards passing. C.J. Stroud 22 of 28 passes for 233 yards with 2 touchdowns. Baltimore fell to 1-3 with a 37-20 road defeat to Kansas City. Ravens rushed for 166 yards for 9.8 yards a carry. They allowed 3.7 yards a carry to the Chiefs with 264 yards passing for 7.1 yards per pass attempt. Lamar Jackson missed the game due to injury. Cooper rushed in relief last week, hit 9 of 13 passes for 52 yards. Houston completing 68% of their passes, and Stroud will be attacking a Ravens defense with a cluster of injuries. Cooper Rush will start for an injured Lamar Jackson. He'll face a healthy and a good defense in the Texans. Baltimore allowing 407 yards per game with 71% completion rate to opposing quarterbacks. The Texans defense is playing well against the run and pass. They're allowing less than 13 points a game. Houston 4-0 to the spread on the road, facing teams that allow 350 yards per game or greater. Pick here will be Houston here, -1. We got Dolphins and the Panthers going off here on Sunday. Miami has a corner out. They lost, of course, Tyreek Hill for the year and have several offensive linemen on IR. Carolina running back Hubbard and a tight end are out. On defense, a nickelback is out. A linebacker is questionable. Carolina has an injury advantage based on the channel rating by plus 3.30. Miami sits at 1-3 after their 27-21 home victory against the Jets. Dolphins rushed for 123 yards for 4 yards a carry and moved the football through the air. The Dolphins gave 197 yards rushing to the Jets for 7 yards a carry, and with 207 yards passing for 7.7 yards per pass attempt. Tua Tagovailoa, 17 of 25 passing, 177 yards with 2 touchdowns. North Carolina now 1-3, a 42-13 road defeat at New England. Panthers rushed for 129 yards for 4.6 yards a carry and ineffective in the passing game. They limited the Patriots' ground game and allowed 203 yards passing for 11.3 yards per pass attempt. Miami rushed for 4.7 yards a carry and getting accurate quarterback play with 69% completion rate. The Panthers struggled with quarterback efficiency and running the football. Carolina allowing 4.9 yards per rush. The Dolphins have put up points as the Panthers have struggled. Dolphins 5-0 to the spread as a road favorite. Pick here Miami -1. All right, we got the Cowboys and the Jets going off here on Sunday. All right, we've got Dallas receiver Lamb, their left tackle, right guard are out. Their left guard is questionable. A backup receiver out and questionable. They have a backup receiver as well. On defense, a safety out with the linebacker questionable. New York nickelback out with an end on defense questionable. New York has a significant injury advantage based on the channel ratings by plus 7.20. New York offense is the healthiest unit at 89.6 ratings. The Cowboys offense, the lowest health rating, 72.2. Dallas sits at 1-2-1 after a 40-40 home tie against Green Bay. The Cowboys rushed for 4.5 yards a carry and were effective in the passing game. They allowed 165 yards rushing to the Packers for 4.7 yards a carry, along with 325 yards passing for 7.6 yards per pass attempt. Dak Prescott in the game, 31-40 for 319 yards with 3 touchdowns. New York 0-4 after a 27-21 road defeat at Miami. The Jets rushed for 197 yards for 7 yards a carry with movement in the passing game. They allowed 4 yards a carry to the Dolphins with 177 yards passing for 7.1 yards per pass attempt. Justin Fields here, 20-27 passing for 226 yards with a touchdown. He rushed for 81 yards on the score. New York, a desperate 0-14, facing a wounded team here. The Cowboys' defense has allowed an average of 33 points per game over their past 3. New York has been competitive in dropping 3 games by 1 possession and putting up points on the board. Dallas has lost both road games. New York rushing for 5.2 yards a game and getting accurate quarterback play. Dallas allowing 73% completion rate, 8.8 yards per pass attempt, giving up 31 points at Chicago. Not encouraging. They're back in Dallas here. The Cowboys 1-5 the spread on the road, facing teams that average 130 yards rushing per game or greater. Pick here Jets plus 1.5. All right, we got the Giants and the Saints going off here on Sunday. We got New York has a nose tackle and safety questionable, and New Orleans, a right guard is out with a tight end and left guard questionable. On defense, a linebacker and nickelback are out. New Orleans has a slight injury advantage based on the channel ratings of plus 2.70. New York offense has the lowest rating at 79.2 based on their receivers on the IR, and their backup running back is doubtful. Those are health ratings there. New York is improved here to 1-3 after a 21-18 home victory against the Chargers. Giants rushed for 161 yards for 3.8 yards a carry and were ineffective in the passing game. They allowed 152 yards rushing to the Chargers with 11.7 yards a carry and defended the passing game well. Jackson Dart, 13 of 20 passing for 111 yards and a touchdown. He rushed for 54 yards and a score. New Orleans drops to 0-4, a 31-19 road defeat to the Buffalo. The Saints rushed for 189 yards for 5.5 yards a carry, but were ineffective in the passing game. They allowed 165 yards rushing to the Bills for 5.2 yards a carry and allowed 8.7 yards per pass attempt. Spencer Rattler, 18 of 27 passing for 126 yards and a touchdown. New York has been competitive in more games. Their defense allowed 22 points or fewer in 3 of 4 games. The Saints have lost 8 straight dating back to last season. New York pass defense better, and the rookie quarterback Jackson Dart faces a weak defense here. New Orleans 2-7 to the spread at home. One line between +3 and -3. Pick here New York +2. Got the Raiders and the Colts going off here on Sunday. We got Las Vegas tight end Bowers questionable. On defensive corners questionable. Indianapolis receiver Pierce and nickelback are out. Indianapolis has an injury advantage based on the channel ratings. Las Vegas offense at lowest ratings here at 82.5 based on their backup tight end questionable as well. Las Vegas fell to 1-3, a 25-24 home defeat to Chicago. Raiders rushed for 240 yards for 7.7 yards a carry and inefficient in the passing game. They limited the Bears on the ground and passing game. Geno Smith, 14-21 passing, just 117 yards with 2 touchdowns and 3 picks. Indianapolis 3-1 after a 27-20 road defeat to the Rams. The Colts were limited on the ground but moved the ball through the air. A crucial fumble near the end zone was costly. They allowed 4 yards per rush to the Rams with 360 yards passing for 8.8 yards per pass attempt. Daniel Jones, 24-33 passing for 260 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. The Colts offense has been outstanding with 4.5 yards a carry, 72% completion rate, 8.6 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they're giving up 4.5 yards a carry, though. The Raiders defense on the road giving up 5.2 yards per rush, 7.1 yards per pass attempt. They have thrown the ball well on the road, 68% completions, 9.4 yards per pass attempt. The Colts 13-6 to the over at home. Pick here at Las Vegas and Indianapolis to go over at 48. Broncos and the Eagles going off here on Sunday. Denver starters on offense and defense healthy. Philadelphia has a fullback out. Denver has a slight injury advantage based on the channel ratings, very slight here. Denver now 2-2 after a 28-3 home victory against Cincinnati. Broncos gained 514 yards with strong rushing and passing numbers on that Monday night. They limited the Bengals to 53 yards rushing with 106 passing yards for 4.2 yards per pass attempt. Bo Nix, 29-42 passing for 326 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. He had a rushing score. Philadelphia sits at 4-0, a 31-25 road win at Tampa Bay. The Eagles struggled on the ground and through the air. They held the Bucs to under 4 yards per rush with 272 yards passing for 6.8 yards per pass attempt. Jalen Hurts, 15-24 passing for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now Denver has dropped both road games. Broncos' passing game is sputtered on the road. Their defense on the road gave up over 4.5 yards per carry and 288 yards passing with 71% completion rate. Philadelphia has been getting accurate quarterback play at home and defending the pass well. The Broncos 3-6 of the spread on the road against winning teams. Philadelphia 9-2 of the spread as home favorite of 7 or fewer points. Pick here Philadelphia -4. Buccaneers and the Seahawks going off here on Sunday. Tampa Bay running back Irving and receiver Evans are out. On defensive corners out. Seattle has a linebacker, corner, and safety out. Seattle does have a significant injury advantage based on the channel ratings by plus 12.69. Tampa Bay's offense has the lowest rating at 67.3 based on the current injuries and players on the IR. The Seahawks offense has the highest rating at plus 92.6. The Buccaneers fell to 3-1 with a 31-25 home defeat to Philadelphia. The Bucs rushed for 3.9 yards a carry and effective in the passing game. They held the Eagles to 2.9 yards a carry and 112 yards passing for 4.6 yards per pass attempt. Baker Mayfield, 22 of 40 for 289 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Seattle sits at 3-1 with a 23-20 road win at Arizona. Seahawks rushed for 155 yards for 4.4 yards a carry and effective through the air. They limited the Cardinals' passing attack and allowed 89 yards of rushing for 5.2 yards per carry. Kyler Murray, 27 of 41 passing for 200 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Having big quarterback play here has been inaccurate and inefficient on the road. Their pass defense allowing 7.1 yards per pass attempt on the highway. Seattle has defended the run and pass well at home. Their pass offense at home, 73% completion rate, 8.6 yards per pass attempt. 3 straight wins and covers for the Seahawks and have rest advantage after a Thursday night win. Pick here Seattle -3.5. Titans and the Cardinals going off here on Sunday. Tennessee right tackle out with receiver Ridley questionable. Arizona left guard doubtful. On defense and end is out with both corners questionable. Tennessee has a clear injury advantage based on the channel ratings by plus 7.80. Tennessee fell to 0-4 after a 26-0 road defeat at Houston. The Titans threw poorly and rushed for 82 yards for 4.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 129 yards rushing for 3.7 yards a carry and 224 yards passing for 8 yards per pass attempt. Cam Ward, 10 of 26 passing for 108 yards and a pick. Arizona drops at 2-2 after a 23-20 home defeat to Seattle. Cardinals were ineffective through the air and rushed for 89 yards for 5.2 yards to carry. Arizona's really poor defending the run and pass in the game. Kyler Murray, 27-41, 200 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. All losses this year for the Titans have been by 8 or greater points. They failed to cover 9 of 10. Tennessee on the road rushing for 3.9 yards to carry with 41% completion rate, 2.9 yards per pass attempt. The Titans have lost time of possession by 10 minutes on the road. They are allowing opposing quarterbacks on the road 69% completion rate. Cardinals are holding teams at 3.8 yards per run at home. Cardinals 4-1 the spread at home against the AFC. Pick here will be Arizona minus 7.5. Commanders and the Chargers going off here on Sunday. Washington receivers McLaren and Brown are out for Washington with the running back Eckler on IR. LA left tackle out with their right end and right guard questionable. LA has a slight injury advantage based on the channel ratings by plus 140. Washington fell to 2-2 after a 34-27 road defeat at Atlanta. The Commanders rushed for 147 yards for 6.7 yards to carry, but were ineffective in the passing game. They struggled defending the Falcons' passing game and allowed 120 yards rushing for 3.4 yards to carry. Jane Daniels returns under center after missing the past 2 games and will wear a knee brace here. Daniels completing 60% of his passes with 6 yards per pass attempt. LA fell at 3-1, a 21-18 road defeat to Giants. Chargers rushed for 152 yards for nearly 12 yards to carry, but were ineffective in the passing game. They limited the Giants on the ground and allowed 161 yards rushing for nearly 4 yards to carry. Justin Herbert, 23 of 41 passing, just 203 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks. Daniels playing with a knee brace is a concern here. They have lost both road games where they have been struggling in pass defense, giving 31 points a game, 68% completions, 10.1 yards per pass attempt. Their passing game has struggled with accuracy and efficiency on the road. LA has passed for 270 yards at home per game and defending the pass well. Washington 0-3 the spread on the road. LA 7-4 the spread as home favorite. Pick here LA minus 3. Lions and Bengals going off here on Sunday. Detroit left tackle questionable. A free safety on defense is questionable. Steady quarterback Burrow is out. Detroit has a slight injury advantage based on the Chow ratings by plus 2.50 ratings points. Detroit improved to 3-1 after a 34-10 home victory at Cleveland. The Lions rushed for 109 yards for 3.8 yards to carry. They held the Browns at 2.9 yards per rush along with 4.8 yards per pass attempt. Jared Goff here, 16 of 27 passing for 168 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Cincinnati 2-2 after a 28-3 road win at defeated Denver. The Bengals' run and passing game were ineffective. They started 512 yards to the Broncos with struggles defending both run and pass. Jake Browning 14 of 25 passes for 125 yards. Detroit has scored 34 points or greater in their past 3 games and covering each game, including an 8-point win in Baltimore. Cincinnati in their past 2 games have been outscored by 76-13. The Detroit defense holding teams at 3.8 yards per rush and an offense passes for 74% and 7.4 yards per pass attempt. They have rushed well. Cincinnati this year rushing for just 2.5 yards to carry, just over 5 yards per pass attempt. Lions 13-0 to the spread on the road upon a home game. Pick here Detroit minus 10.5. Patriots and the Bills going off on Sunday. New England has the linebacker out with an end and corner questionable. Buffalo has the right tackle questionable. On defense, the linebacker out with tackle and linebacker here questionable. New England has an injury advantage based on the child ratings by plus 3.80. Buffalo defense has the lowest health rating, 8.27. New England now 2-2 after a 42-13 home victory at Carolina. The Patriots rushed for 104 yards for 3.6 yards to carry and inefficient in the passing game. They limited the Panthers' passing game and allowed 129 yards rushing for 4.6 yards to carry. Drake May 14-17 passing for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. Buffalo now 4-0, a 31-19 home victory against New Orleans. Bills were effective rushing and passing. Their pass defense allowed 189 yards rushing for 5.6 yards to carry. Effectively defending the pass. Josh Allen in the game, 16-22 passing for 209 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. He rushed for 45 yards and a score. New England passing has been efficient here, 73% completion rate, 7.6 yards per pass attempt. They have been poor in defending the pass, allowing 71% completions, 7.7 yards per pass attempt. The Bills' offense rushed for nearly 5 yards a carry, completing 70% of the passes, nearly 8 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, though, they are struggling in run defense, giving up 6 yards to carry on the ground. Both offenses have high health ratings. New England 5-1 in the over on the road, facing a team that averages 5.65 yards per play or greater. The Bills 12-4 in the over at home against the AFC. Pick here New England and Buffalo over 48.5. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Lots of free picks over our channel, delivered by myself, as well as a team of cappers here at Tony'sPicks.com, making this a great channel to subscribe to. Hit us up with that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Then visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com, for our best bets. Our premium plays are there. And, of course, that promo code is TonyT at checkout. Knock off that 15%. The link is in the description to get signed up. That will do it for now. I'm Tony T, and we'll talk with you guys later.